What's up, guys? We are going into Dark Phoenix Rising. This is my final boss DV clear this time around for Dark Visions 28. Shout out to Surginx for referring me to a video that I used as a guideline for this. That video, I'm not sure who posted it, but I know they referenced Eubonic, who I think is like I think he gets like rank 1 every time, or he's one of the top 5 pretty much every DV. So kudos to him. Shout out to him for the strategy. But yeah, it's a fire team, and just going over the bosses AI real quick. It's a Reaper, it's random AoE physical, non-elemental, or AoE non-elemental magic. It's either 0, 1, or 2 of some combination of those. Its other gimmick is does paralyze to the party, confuse to the party with those non-elemental skills. And it also does elemental resistance buffs and fields. Resistance and amplify fields on its side for the element it's doing damage to with. It's either goes magic fire on turn 1. It starts doing the buff and field on turn 1. So turn 1, it buffs, it puts up a fire field, and then turn 2, I think it buffs, or maybe it buffs fire damage on turn 1, puts up the field turn 1, then turn 2 it does fire damage, and then puts up like an ice field, an ice buff, ice resist. It's kind of a headache since you can't do a field early in the fight. It does a new field like every turn. So, but regardless, it's manageable. But yeah, it rotates through fire on turn 1, fire magic on turn 2, ice magic on turn 3, and then dark on 4, lightning on 5, and then it restarts its rotation. It's got a 70% threshold and a 50% threshold that we're just going to avoid altogether. Anything else? Yeah, we're not going to get a perfect damage taken score, which I think Sinzar has been talking about this for a while. Like a lot of the top JP players, they don't really focus on not taking damage. They just go all in on, damage output. And that's, I think, kind of where this one trends, at least. Give up a tank slot just to fit in more damage. So, but anyway, anything worth noting? Well, Olive's here is our breaker and for damage. Rain's here is a leader and here for damage. Cleom's here. She gives some LB fill and resistances and pretty decent damage. Rosa buffs defense, gives us Reaper Killer, some LB fill. Genesis is here for damage, and Lena's here for her fields. So, party order is important here. If you're spark chaining, you want Olive higher in the party order than Cleom. And definitely want Genesis on Phoenix with all the magic Reaper skills unlocked. But the boss does put up imperils, 100% imperils that we're not removing. So we need, ideally you would have 0% or better to fire, and then 50% or better to ice and dark. We're getting some resistance buffs from Cleom. So, yeah, anyway. Olive is resistant to paralyze and confuse. She's got some resistances, and she has max LB, max Reaper Killer, and Ibarra's card. So apologies for not getting this out earlier. The past couple of weeks have been pretty busy for me. Plus, I was waiting to farm Ibarra to EX3 to get her card for this. It ended up not making that big of a difference, really. I still have yet to beat my high score. And I think I farmed this like 10 to 15 times today. But it is what it is. But hey, I have an EX3 bar and her card now. So, yay. So there's all of his gearing. And she's getting some resistances from Ashura. Rain, base form, full evasion. He's got fire resist, ice resist, dark resist. He's shifting on turn 3, so he really only needs ice and dark resist from turn in the shift form. So just fire resist in the base form, honestly. Yeah, some status immunity. 10,000 needles, and then shift form just built for damage. So Max Reaper, Max LB. He's got Esther's card for some killers. Status immunity. Prodigious Performer for chain acceleration. So he's a little shy on dark, so he's going to take some damage on turn 4, but yeah, it's RNG. I mean, you may, just depending on the boss's actions, there may be some runs where you take more damage than another without changing a thing. So, gotta love that RNG. So, Cleone, she's in the shift form up until the kill turn, turn 5. But she has, resistances, ailment resistance. She's full evasion. Then shift form, gave her a sword build. She has higher stats with this sword than her own STMR, and we have a bigger sword in peril on the party than a katana in peril anyway. So she is Max Reaper, Max LB, chain acceleration, and she has cool smile card. Rosa, full evasion, some bulk, resistances, immunity, and there we go. Genesis, 7,500 MP. I opted for Evil Vanguard just for a little bit more MP. It's like a 5% gain on MP for him, I think. And then a 4% loss in magic stats. So I'd have to throw that into a calculator, but it seems like that'd do more. More often than not, he's hitting cap. But, so it may be 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But he has Zidane's STMR, some resistances, some immunity from the Prophet's Celestine, Diadem of Will. His own STMR, chain cap up, all that good stuff. So even shy on killers, he can still cap. So I think there was one run, he was geared for 200 Reaper killer and still capped. But, just for a little more security of making this video, gave him the Moogle calligraphy. Otherwise, if you want to play RNG with that, or if you have like an EX3 Genesis, you could always throw an accessory on that has some ice resist, just to help with your damage taken score. But there's that on him. And then the Dazzling Demoness card. And Lena, she's in the shift form up until turn 5. She's full evasion, resistances, immunity. She has Dark Reign's TMR, Dark Reign's cards, some bulk where I could fit it. Then base form, I gave her a sword build. You could get to 200 TDH magic with all of his gun if you gave Lena all his TMR, but, again, she'd only be hitting with a 25% weapon imperil versus a 40% sword imperil. So, small loss in magic stats for a bigger imperil, I think, wins out. And, yeah, there's her build. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the video now, and then we'll get into the fight. All right, here we go. Okay, so turn 1, Olive is going to LB. Lena is going to shift at LB. We're going to wait for Olive just to make sure we don't chain those up and do more damage. Just, again, trying to avoid that 70% threshold. Genesis can start singing. Rosa can fill LB. And you do want to make sure her skills are all upgraded, especially Shelga Protectka and Prayer of Vitality. So we'll just double cast that. Cleum can bar Farega for some LB fill and the fire resist. And then Blood Red Performance and Slayer Symphony, just for some LB mods and buffs. And then Rain can 10,000 Needles. Okay, so the first person we want to do this turn is Cleum. We want to bar Farega just for some LB fill on Olive, and then end with Prodigious Protection. That gives a 150 Dark and Ice resistance for later turns. So depending on if Olive is full at this point, you would go ahead and just LB with her. If she's not full, you would use Rosa to fill LB. You should just need to fill LB one time, and then you would do Protectka. It seems like the physical attacks hit harder than the magic, so I'd prioritize Protectka over Shelga. But since Olive is full, we can go ahead and just Shelga and Protectka with Rosa. So we'll LB Olive. Protecting Shelga with Rosa. Rain can 10,000 Needles again. And Lena can put up Hymn of the Faith. And apologies, I didn't call that out specifically in the gearing, but that's almost doubles her LB modifier in the base form. So you really want that upgraded version of that on Lena in the shift form. Okay. So this turn, Rosa, actually we're going to wait on Rosa. So like I was saying, I'm sure I didn't explain it well, whatever damage type the boss does, it puts up resistance to that element. So that doesn't really work for us since we're doing a fire team and it put up fire resist, but Olive can get rid of that with her normal attack. It's a perfect dispel. So we're going to Shifted LB Rain first. Shifted LB Cleum. Wait for Rain. Okay. Then we're just going to normal attack with Olive. And that gets rid of that fire resist. Lena can start storing magic. And Rosa can fill LB twice, just to top off Lena. Okay. So Lena can just store magic again. Genesis is going to do its fire amp, just whatever. Try not to hit the boss. Actually, does he have... We'll try this, see if it contributes to the damage dealt score. Hopefully this doesn't hurt too hard. we'll do Fire Amp, damage over time, and then his Level's Preface for the Store Magic ability. Did I quadcast? Yeah. So Fire Amp, Dot, and Preface. Olive can power up. She can just do one of her modifier skills, Flaming Melons, Gunner Guardian, Giant Melon Ammo, and then Fire Cannon Fire as the last action. Rain can Infaraga, Fire Amp, and then fill LB. Cleum can Barforaja for some LB fill on herself, Punch for some more LB fill on herself, and then end with Scarlet Sharp Note. And Rosa can give Reaper Killer over to Olive and Rain. All right, so Rosa needs to give Reaper Killer over to Cleome and to Genesis. So now we kill. We're going to SLB Olive, shifted LB Rain, base form LB Cleome. Genesis can cap with Ancient Epic, and Lena can base form LB. So we're going to send Lena first just to get the fields in place. Wait about 2.5 seconds. Send the front row. We're hoping to get the last hit of Lena's LB to hit within the chain, the EN chain. We don't want to wait too long, otherwise we won't get the 100-point chain. Then after we send the front row, we'll just send Genesis. So it's, for me, my counting, it's kind of a slow count. It's like 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do, when we click Lena, that's going to be 1. And then at about 3.5, we'll send the front row. So. Dude, can have a bad roll there. Especially on Genesis. So 25-4, we can do better than that. I'm going to rerun this, and I'll just splice in a better damage roll. But we'll see who did what here. So Genesis should have hit cap. We're about $1 billion short, we're about $1 billion short each on Rain and Cleome. Olive was pretty average. Lena was a little shy too. So, yeah. I'll be back in a sec and hopefully have a better damage roll. All right, we are back on turn 5. We're going to go for hopefully a higher damage roll. So, yeah. Same thing as last time. Send Lena, wait. We're going to wait a couple seconds and then send all the rest of the chainers. See if we can get more hits of her LB in that chain. So, anyway, here we go. What did that give us? $26.9. Yeah. Good enough for the video. Yeah, I'm sure I'm still going to run variants between now and the end of the day. But anyway, that looked a little better at least. Yeah, that was better damage taken score, I'm guessing. So... yeah, pretty good on Cleome. Oh, God. Olive should be able to hit about 600 million better than that. Rain can hit a couple 100 million better than that, but Anyway, yeah, there it is. Hope you enjoyed. Hope it helped. I know it's last minute. Again, apologies for the lack of videos lately. Just work and life, you know. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.